right, y'all. Proverbs 24. What does Proverbs 24 mean? So this continues Solomon's record of the 30 wise sayings, Proverbs 22:17 through 21. It's important for godly people to avoid jealousy towards sinful people. True success is found in wisdom, Proverbs 1:7, leading to strength and a good reputation. Also crucial is acting on behalf of the disadvantaged. A person cannot fool God by pretending not to know about the plight of others. Proverbs 24:1 through 12. All things God gives has a good and valuable purpose. 1 Timothy 4:4. It's appropriate to enjoy those things and seek them out in the right way. Period. In the same sense, we ought to recognize the pleasure and value of godly wisdom. What's not appropriate is to seek to harm others by taking advantage of them. Neither is it godly to feel glee when an enemy suffers. To appreciate God's justice is one thing, but being giddy when anyone else is in pain is sinful. In general, believers should seek God's will rather than being overly worried about the schemes of evil people. Respecting authority, both moral and legal, helps a person avoid the natural consequences of disobedience. And that's Proverbs 24:13 through 22. The next passage begins more wise statements. At least some of these seem to come directly from Solomon, but their sources are not as clear as in other chapters. Solomon again stresses the importance of fair judgment both in the official sense and in the lives of common persons. He also warns against cutting others down, even when the criticism is true, unless one has good reason to do so. Revenge especially is to be avoided. The chapter ends with an extensive example of the consequences of laziness. Solomon passes a field which shows obvious signs of neglect. He uses this as an opportunity to learn himself and apply what he sees in his own wisdom. And that's Proverbs 24:23 through 34. So the chapter context. This chapter continues 30 sayings of wise people, Proverbs 22:17 through 21, as collected and endorsed by Solomon. The remainder of the passage are additional wise statements which are not as clearly attributed. Some of the lessons are framed as warnings followed by reasons. The lessons contained here are more detailed than most of the Proverbs in this book. Okay. So the breakdown, part 2. Proverbs 24 emphasizes the superiority of wisdom, understanding, and righteousness over material wealth and power. It encourages diligence and integrity and just actions while warning against laziness and wickedness. The chapter highlights God's role as the ultimate judge, rewarding each person according to their deeds. It also touches on themes of building a strong family through wisdom and knowledge. So the breakdown. Wisdom over wealth. The chapter stresses that true success and a prosperous life are built on wisdom, understanding, and knowledge rather than solely on material possessions or deceptive practices. Okay. Diligence and hard work. Proverbs 24 contrasts the diligent person who uses opportunities and labors diligently with the lazy person who neglects opportunity and potential. Justice and integrity. The chapter calls for upholding justice, not envying the wicked and avoiding revenge. It also warns against preventing justice by favoring the wicked or misrepresenting good and evil. Building a strong family. Proverbs 24:3 through 4 suggests that wisdom and understanding are crucial for building a strong and stable family. Come on now. Accountability to God. The chapter reminds readers that God sees all and will ultimately judge each person's actions. Facing adversity. Proverbs 24:10 highlights the importance of developing strength and resilience, as those who faint under pressure reveal a lack of inner strength. And then the spiritual application. Some interpretations extend these principles to the spiritual realm, suggesting that diligence is needed to cultivate our souls and guard against negative influences. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. So that is all I have for Proverbs chapter 24, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for chapter 25. Y'all, we getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys later. Bye.